Well, a very good evening to you and welcome to Super Sports coverage of this preseason action. It's the build-up to the 2024-2025 season. It's a match featuring Orlando Pirates of South Africa, the team that finished second in the South Africa's Premiership, up against Plymouth Argyle from the English Championship, a team that finished well down the rankings. In fact, barely survived relegation. It finished in 21st in the English Championship. So they have now starting life or continuing life now under Wayne Rooney, who was hired into the hot seat in May of this year. The former Manchester United striker, former England international, of course, England striker as well, is now the man in charge is Wayne Rooney. South Africa's Orlando Pirates, a team that really finished the season in strong form. They clinched the second position behind the champions of South Africa, Mamelodi Sundowns, but finishing well behind in terms of points. But they secured a Champions League football. They will play in the Confederation of African Football's Champions League, and also they clinched the South African Cup on the last day of the season with a dramatic 2-1 victory over the team that won the Premiership, Mamelodi Sundowns. So this evening they get to test themselves against strong opposition. I mean, the second tier of English football is quite strong. Brian Mate, it'll be very interesting to see how they go here and how they acquit themselves. Also, it's a chance to, of course, we have to keep things in perspective. They're still very much in preseason. It's a chance to you know, get the fitness back and get the cobwebs going and a little bit of rustiness that they'll have to get rid of.
Well, you're right, Titi. Good evening, of course, to the viewers. In this stage of the season, for Wayne Rooney, you've mentioned the position of the team. It's all about building up the confidence, of course, that's key, but also making sure that the playing concept, the players tend to embrace it. Test the level of fitness for Orlando Pirates. You've mentioned the success story. Of course, this is the second time they come back into Spain, and then the confidence level should be high. The players are dreaming quite big. The success story in terms of winning trophies here at home, and that should all go well for them because the mentality has actually carried them to get to the position they were in, second position, of course, at the end of the season. And it's a question of building up. Of course, they've got new players that are coming in, but having looked at the team, they've gone with the tried and tested.
Indeed, they have, as we await the teams to make their way out onto the field. We will talk you through the lineups in a moment. As Brian Mate says, actually, there's a lot of familiarity about the Orlando Pirates lineup, featuring 7 players who started in that cup final against Mamelodi Sundowns. So, yeah, we'll talk you through it. And for Plymouth Argyle, they've also included no less than 6 players that featured in their last game of the season, last campaign, which was a 1-0 home win over Hull City, a match result that in the end turned out to be quite important as it secured their place in the championship by the skin of their teeth, by just 1 point. And they finished above Birmingham City, a team that was coached by Wayne Rooney before making the move to Plymouth Argyle. Huddersfield, so Birmingham City, Huddersfield Town and Rotherham United were the teams relegated from the championship last season. So there they are then, out on the field, the protagonists for this evening's match. We are at the Banus Football Center in Marbella, Spain, a destination that is favored for this warm weather training, as well, most of Europe is in the summer months now. So from Orlando Pirates, so they would have moved from a bitter cold of Johannesburg in South Africa. Temperatures in the week past have dropped below freezing, I can tell you that. And so it'll be great for them. They'll be enjoying this opportunity to get a run out in the sun. So yeah, exciting stuff. It's been months without action. We're absolutely delighted to have the teams back in action. Orlando Pirates last outing was on the 1st of June, so it's been well over a month. The 1st of June was the last match they had. That was the cup final. And here we are on the 12th of July, almost a month and a half to the day since they last kicked the ball in anger. The two captains there, Innocent Maela is for Orlando Pirates, and the captain for Plymouth Argyle is Joe Edwards, a 33-year-old right wing back. And yeah, so we'll tell you in a moment. Unfortunately, we don't have the names of our match officials this evening, but nonetheless, we'll talk you through the teams as well for the two sides. As I mentioned, 6 starters in total for Plymouth Argyle. They've included 6 players who played in the last game of last season. Orlando Pirates with no less than 7 of players who featured in the cup final last time out. Right, a chance for them, of course, players as well, to impress the coaches. That's what it will be about for the two coaches. So we're not going to get a look at too many of the new faces as yet for the Orlando Pirates, but I can tell you that Selelo Rasabocha signed from Super Sport United. He's come across the N1 highway to join Talent Empata in the Pirates setup here. He's a new face as a return as well for Thabiso Libitso, who missed the cup final with the injury and actually missed the last couple of games of the season. We're underway. It is Plymouth Argyle in the green shirts and white shorts. The Pilgrims attacking the goals to the left of your picture. They're playing from right to left as you watch things. Orlando Pirates, they're in their traditional colors, the black, all black strip, as in Nyamangangane, as they call themselves, which means the all black, if you like. That's just a loose translation of that Zulu moniker for the Buccaneers, one of South Africa's most successful clubs, but a team that's gone nearly a decade now without winning. More than a decade, rather, since they've last won this South African Premiership. That is something they'll be looking to put right. They've been regular winners of cup competitions, but it's the Premiership that they covered the most. Here's an early run here from Bali Mumba down the left wing. We'll see him bombing down that left-hand side. The player, as a ball comes across again, Pirates scramble it away. Good start here for the Pilgrims. Offside, a man coming from an offside position there, the whistle goes. So good start from the Englishman.
Well, it's a good start. You've got to put your best foot forward, attack, set yourself into the game. And I guess at this stage, because you've mentioned Wayne Rooney, who's just come into the team, it's a question of making sure that the playing style, they understand it, the runs is very key, and there's cohesion in terms of the formation that they're playing, the understanding in terms of when to hold it and make sure that you control situations. And I guess the same applies to Orlando Pirates. In as much as we see that it's a tried and tested starting lineup, there's still some finishing touches that they need to work on as well.
In defense of Orlando Pirates, so the changes include Sandile Mthethwa, the centre-back, who will line up alongside Oli Sanda as the 2 centre-backs, and Thabiso Libitso, who plays a wing-back for Orlando Pirates down the right-hand side there. And so it's a change. In fact, there were regular changes to the combination at centre-back for Orlando Pirates because of a injury to Tapelo Koki, who, by the way, is still not with the squad. He did not make the trip to Spain, so they still are missing him. And Sibisi is the other centre-back that Pirates have had to opt to. He struggled to make an impact last time I did Sibisi. He is on the bench this evening.
But it also shows the depth that they have. You mentioned Kofi, who's out and got trouble with the team. But what is important now is the combinations that you're talking about, because if you have in the squad Inda that offers an option for the team, there's Mtetwa as well, part of the team, just shows the depth that they have. It's going to be demanding as well because they've also qualified for the Champions League, so that's a real test.
They will need, will need the depth there in their squad. Thabiso Sesane is the other centre back, by the way, who started the cup final alongside Oli Sanda. So they've shuffled that centre back pairing quite a bit. Here is Oli Sanda on the ball now, working it wide to Libito. In fact, this is Saleng, I beg your pardon, and it gets a great ball out wide, switching play. Now then, first chance for them to try and run at Plymouth Argyle's defense, but they just sitting back, letting them have the ball and watch what they've got. Two teams that won't know a lot about each other. Certainly the Plymouth players wouldn't know a lot about Orlando Pirates. Here's Saleng, will be a constant threat down the right-hand side. Thabiso Libito. Nda. See, they're pushing quite, holding quite a high up line now they're in attack. Oh, a mistake there at the back by Lewis Gibson, the left-sided centre-back. Sipo Chain, player who again performed some heroics in the cup final. Apologies there for the noise you're hearing. It's the wind blowing on the microphone. And the microphone there from these coastal towns.
It's pretty windy, so when it gets windy as well, it becomes tricky in terms of how you rotate the ball. You can't play too high as well, so you've got to try and keep it on the ground. For a Pirates team, you should be able to adjust to that.
Now, Chain likes to, as Pirates try to play it out the back.
I think he's struggling to find an avenue as well to try and build from the back. And it's pretty difficult. I don't think players would quickly adapt to adjust to the sort of style, but you just have to stick to your kind of formation, try and find gaps. But natural footballers, you know, adapt quickly in terms of the style and studying the opponents.
Plymouth Argyle also are featuring some new faces in their side. We've got number 24, Saxon Early, signed, 21-year-old, signed from Wickham Wanderers, who's playing in defense. They've got the Benin international, Mohamed Tijani, who's also playing at centre back. And also, just one of the newer faces. There are two of the new faces in the side. There are a couple of other players that they have signed and were expected. There's Ibrahim Sissoko, who's been signed, and the Dutch under-21 international winger, who's out on loan from Toulouse in France. I've mentioned the Mohamed Tijani. And there's Darko Kiabi is another player who's recently arrived at Plymouth.
I like what I'm seeing. Good touches. They create the space, rotating the ball quite well. Good control as well. That's Plymouth. I think so far so good. The confidence of building from the back, it's not so easy when you're being pressed. And that's what Pirates are trying to do at this stage, to try and press them in their own half, force them to make mistakes, but no stage fright.
And so Lisanda working it wide to Saleng. Two men converge on him as he gets the ball. That's good touch now. Looking at it, an opportunity to face the goals there. Now, chance to break here. Olisanda will have to do some chasing. He's isolated here. We'll have to wait for support. Will Ben Wayne. And
now they're beginning to assert themselves, Plymouth. You can see that now making inroads on that right-hand side, putting pressure on the captain of Orlando Pirates, Innocent Maela.
all the way back to Olisanda.
I like this kind of practice games. I call them practice games because after time you can actually hear the instructions of the communication of the players. Because of the mics around the field, you can actually hear the instructions and the communication.
Yeah, certainly. Or over the rustle of the on the microphone, you can hear it. Here is Bali Mumba. Play on, says the referee. Here is a man who was on fire, Patrick Maswanganyi. Player of the season in South Africa's Premiership last season.
Such an influential player for Orlando Pirates.
He was also adjudged the best player in the Cup, the Nedbank Cup, as it is known, the South African Cup. Plymouth Argyle now being pressed. They've done well here to try and play out.
And they're pretty comfortable. They read the situation quite well. They're not in awe at all. They're rotating it quite well. Doesn't matter whether you want to put them under pressure. And I think you can understand the man in charge, Wayne Rooney, comes from a team, Man United, where it was all about building from the back and very comfortable, very assertive players in the midfield. So he seems to have imparted that sort of knowledge and confidence and belief in the players to have that identity about themselves.
This is Saling being put under a bit of pressure there. Well, Saxon Early, the player signed from Wickham Wanderers. Well, keeper, little casual, very nearly getting himself into a spot of bother. Mumba, pressure from Libito, who's playing very deep. He's actually almost playing as a fullback. And he's very adept when he goes forward. There's Tabiso Libito, but he's playing a right wing back, which is a position in the road, and he has played.
Well, I guess he hasn't got that luxury now, because the minute he goes, Mumba doesn't go down with him, so he stays up. So as a defender, naturally, you're going to be very cautious, because the minute they get the ball, they play it on that channel.
Yeah, played behind you. Yeah. Well, they're looking to slip a ball through there.
Well, sometimes the best way to try and test your opponent, if you are Libito, when they switch play, you make yourself as an option on that right-hand side. So once you load that right-hand side, you force your opponent to come back into a defensive zone.
Plymouth Argyle, could be a chance here. Oh, we should have done that should have been on target. A free shot on goal. And we'd expect it. Well, Mahaula is not a player who gets regularly on the score sheet by any means. And I think it would have been found him. He was a little bit surprised to find himself in on goal like that, and should have put that on target. I think it was a hell of a let-off quite a let-off for Plymouth Argyle. What an opportunity it was for Orlando Pirates to draw first blood in this pre-season friendly match.
I think the best thing that he could have done was to play low as opposed to try and play it high. you have the goalkeeper that's advancing. The best thing that you do, you just try and pick the spot and play it low. And
he went for power.
He went for power.
Yeah, that was a real defensive midfielder's effort on goal. Hasn't scored, Mahaula. Scored in the cup last season. Got himself a goal in the cup against his former club, Amazulu. His Orlando Pirates beat them by 4-2. And that was his only goal last season. And in fact, that goal is his only goal since the 2016-2017 season when he was out at Free State Stars. That's how long ago it was. He's not a regular goal scorer. So, as I said, he would have been shocked to find himself in that part of the field. Sipa Chain, he was a very comfortable player with the ball at feet as a goalkeeper, or a goal player, as I've sometimes heard them referred to these days. Now, Argyle getting Plymouth Argyle getting lots of men behind the ball. Saleh, the decoy run there coming from Libito at Argyle again here. No panic when Pirates apply the press. Olisanda going through his man there, catching Ben Wayne. But referee saw nothing with that. A fair challenge.
Two big boys going for an aerial battle. Now won that kind of battle, and I think as a striker, when you talk about Wayne, the big boy as well, very physical. It's going to be an interesting battle to watch.
And see, very tight field that they're playing on here. Very compact field. Looks like a good surface, though, playing surface.
Yeah, it is. But the tight surface at the stage where they are, it's more pre-season. It is quite good because you can't switch off. A lot of short passing games that you have to play, which is quite good.
It's a very warm day out here in Marbella, which is, of course, in Malaga. 34 degrees Celsius.
A place that normally gets that hot back
and
in
humid.
South Africa and humid back in South Africa. You're talking about Toyando, which is which can go as far as 38.
Now, so certainly it will be a test as well.
Yeah.
The heat is especially for the South African players, or players, Orlando Pirates players who have come from very cold temperatures. They've been here since, they've been in Marbella since Tuesday, landed on Tuesday, and were on the training field that evening. So it was immediately to work, in case anybody was under the illusion that they were on a holiday. Not by any means. They hit the training field immediately. It's been a lot of pre-season kind of stuff, lots of running to get the fitness and also get the cross whipped in here. And Olisanda goes for safety first. Safety first, plays the ball just where he's facing.
Well, talk about a man that, for me, reached the game so well. Olisanda, good anticipation. Left a little bit of a gap to allow Jane to intercept it should they go near post, but created a bit of a balance and went for safety. And now it's a question of defending the corner.
Right, let us see what they can do with their first corner here. Plymouth Argyle. There's an opportunity here. It's a good-looking ball that was whipped in. Pirates defended well. Here we come now, Plymouth. That's a great ball into the area of uncertainty there between the defenders and the goalkeeper, but there was no one attacking it from Plymouth point of view. That was Caleb Roberts, the 18-year-old that played it in. Now at the other end here, chance here for Orlando Pirates, and yeah, couldn't put it on target. Another, but that is will go down as an opportunity.
How he could not try and get that one on target beats me. But just to go back to the in-swing cross that was played by Plymouth earlier on, that's the most difficult cross for any defender to deal with, but it's also inviting for the oncoming attacker just to have a touch on it, and that creates problems. And those are some of the Pirates things that the Pirates defense thus far should be able to pick out in terms of the opponent they're up against.
Very intelligent ball played in by young Caleb Roberts. Caleb Roberts is a player coming through the Plymouth Academy. So a chance to, hasn't played yet for the first team. Maybe he'll be looking to break into the first team in the season upcoming. He's been with them since they were in League One. Now, here he is on the ball as they look to break here. So options to his left. Nah, overhit that pass. Disappointing. Overhit that pass. There was real possibilities there on the break for Plymouth.
Big possibilities. They created the space. They set it up quite nicely. At the end of the day, it's the pass. So both teams, there's vulnerabilities that I've identified. You look at this was possibly a counter-attack as well. So Pirates were not organized, but they were not so clinical, Plymouth, in terms of making sure that they punish Orlando Pirates. Equally, Pirates have gotten themselves into good positions, and they haven't been that clinical.
All the way back to Michael Cooper in goals. Started 19 matches last season for Plymouth Argyle in the grueling championship. It is a brutal league. It is the English championship. And 46 games that they play. 24 teams and compete as obviously on a home-away basis. It means 46 matches you play in a season, so the action is thick and fast. The squad depth is tested. The fitness levels are tested. It's a really grueling champion. It's a really grueling league. So when you come, it is difficult to get to the Premiership. When you do get to the Premier League, you've really earned it.
And competition is strong. And I think when you talk about the entire team, the state of readiness of each individual has got to be that good because of the season itself. So there is no way that you can drop the ball.
There's no rest in the championship.
No, there isn't. There isn't.
Definitely no rest for them. And I mentioned Plymouth, who basically just barely survived relegation. See a sprinkling of green shirts in the stands here. Some English fans who have made the trip out to Spain's what they call the Costa del Sol, or the Sun Coast. It is a resort province here in Malaga. So it's very much the holiday makers area here. And it's also why they have this fine facilities where they host some of the world's biggest clubs. I can tell you that while Orlando Pirates have been here, the Canadian women's team and the Australian women's team have been here preparing for the World Cup. That's the next big assignment for them. So it tells you the quality of facilities here. And Arsenal, who finished second in the English Premier League, were also here a week or so ago. Also doing some warm weather training. Of course, I told you how hot it is. Time for a drinks break and a bit of cooling break. There's Wayne Rooney, 38-year-old man in charge of this Birmingham City side. So, Brian Martin, as far as the first outing for the players, what do you make? Who's looked sharpest? Who's gotten into a rhythm? What are you seeing in terms of what the coaches are trying to do here?
Well, I guess for any coach, you want each and every player to have a touch of the ball. You know, that augurs well in terms of when we are in possession, just ask for the ball, just build up a rhythm. You just want to have that cohesion, building up the rhythm, good touches, good passes, follow up as well. And that's what you want to do. They want you to build up the muscle memory in terms of being in, building up a good relationship with the ball. And once you get that right, but it also tells, because once you have the ball on your feet, it's very taxing in terms of your level of fitness. So it tests you, and once you are in possession, you can tell from the coach, he's saying, just keep knocking it around. That's the important thing. Build up that rhythm and get yourself into good areas. And I think we saw Makaula getting into a good position, just couldn't hit the target. If you are Evidence Makopa, you would have wished that it was you who gets into that position, hitting the target. That, triggers the confidence levels in terms of your scoring ability. Defensively, when you win the aerial battles, that's quite good. And we're seeing that Nda so far comfortable, Pirates at the back, Munyani on the right-hand side, and the captain himself, Maela. That's pretty comfortable. I think they need to try and have shots on target, which is what we're missing. The keepers have not been tested. Yes, you're building up the rhythm, but at least try and hit the shots on target. Headers on target, that's what we want to see. But so far, so good rhythm on both teams.
All right, the cooling break is longer than normal. They wouldn't expect a cooling break that lasts, but it is a warm one. 34 degrees, and just the rustle that you're hearing on the microphone there is a bit deceptive, because there isn't much of a breeze blowing out there. It is extremely hot, and it's very humid, as you expect in these coastal towns. So a slight breeze that is there, that you are hearing picking up on the microphones, but it is not what you describe as a wind, as windy. Yeah. So, all right, almost time to get back to play. It is preseason, so everyone will be allowed all the time they need, I guess, when you have a cooling break. Don't want to be taking unnecessary risk and risking the players' health. Certainly not in the first outing. By the way, it's a first outing for Orlando Pirates, but for Plymouth, this will be their last game. They've got some preseason action as well planned when they return. They will be returning to England after this match against the Orlando Pirates, and that will be they've had most of their training has just been without any match time, but now they're going to get into the thick of their preseason stuff, as Wayne Rooney runs rule over his side. This is now his fifth club as coach, Wayne Rooney, since when his first job was at Derby County in 2020, and he's already on to his fifth job as a coach. So the opportunities are coming thick and fast. He's had 2 stints with 2 different clubs in the US's Major League Soccer, and his last assignment, as I said, was out at Birmingham City. He left there in January, and the club went on to be relegated. So he jumped ship just in time.
Opportune time. I think it's a real test for his journey to become a coach. You tend to learn, and I think he's pretty comfortable so far and grateful to the opportunities given to him. Very few players straight from the game you then want to become a coach. Some of them don't want to even see the field after playing. So his former teammate owns a club, that's David Beckham.
Yeah. It's going to be another tough season ahead. He's taken on a tough assignment, a club that were nearly relegated, so he's got his work cut out if he's to get them up the table in the season upcoming. Winning the ball there is Adam Randall. Long ball, this is good football here. Chance here, but the miscue. Nice little cutback, and he had an opportunity under no pressure. Should have put that on target. First real opportunity on goal there for Plymouth Argyle, and miscued it.
It's preseason. These things happen, but as a striker, it would have helped to boost the confidence when you hit one on target. Good positioning. Just couldn't get that one on target.
Lebito. It's evidence Mahopa hasn't had much time on the ball.
He's gone deeper, actually.
Yes, look at how he's out to come all the way to the halfway line to come and get a touch of the ball.
The congestion in the midfield, that's what forces Pirates to play it wide.
It's a very compact field, as I've already mentioned, so it does get a bit crowded there in midfield. But as you said, this is good for preseason action. You want to see the ability of the players to move the ball around. And there's no place to hide in a situation like that.
You've got to be switched on. Your eyesight, your timing, your first touch as well. And when you've got the ball, you've got to at least have about 2 or 3 options when you are in possession. So it's a real, preseason test for players.
I tell you what, preseason isn't what it used to be. Brian Mate, I'm very interested in knowing what your preseason was like in the program in your day. You've got Sundown, you've got Orlando Pirates that are in Spain here.
Yeah.
Mamelodi Sundowns jetted out to Austria.
Yeah.
Well, they'll be having their training season. Kaizer Chiefs are currently in Turkey. So, yeah, they are. We already had last season a team like TS Galaxy that also had their time out in Turkey. So clubs are making the investment in these exercises. Certainly don't come cheap.
Yes, I'm glad you're mentioning that. Back in the days, the team owners just owned taxis. So there were no luxuries to try and fly wherever that you wanted to fly. It was straight back into the ground that you use for games, and then you train there until your level of fitness are at the level where the coaches are pretty happy. And
there wouldn't have been any off-season program given you to follow.
No, those things
you used to come back 2 sizes bigger than you were before at the end of the season.
Fortunately, we were allowed to play in friendlies back in the different classes that we were. So somehow it never stopped with us, because you went back to Kasi and then you'll knock the ball around and you maintain your fitness.
Hope you don't get injured.
Hope you don't get injured. But you also had guys that were pretty much inspirational in approach to their game. The late Nick Bazuka Sishweni was such player who always said, guys, don't stop. It's meant continue. There was this concept of running roadwork. Go 10-kilometer run, do short sprints and kick the ball around. So we didn't lose that much fitness because we continued to play.
Such discipline.
Yeah, it's a discipline.
On your own.
On your own.
I doubt that these players these days would be able to do that without the strict programs that they're told to adhere to. Here's a player who can hit the ball from far, Livito, but didn't get a hold of it. Scored that famous, his first goal for Orlando Pirates, and probably that I don't think he'll ever score a better goal than that in the remainder of his career with Orlando Pirates. Here is Saleng. He's looked busy now, looking to test. Oh, good stuff here from Saleng, turning his man inside out there, Saxon Early. But he stuck to his task, that Saxon Early. That's very good work, defensive work from Plymouth Argyle.
I thought Saleng overdid that drill, because there was a point where I felt when he made the 10, he could have played the cross. But I think he was enjoying what he was doing.
Having too much fun. Here we go. Early change here now for Plymouth Argyle. Frederick Isaka, 17-year-old, is the player checking in. Frederick Isaka, who hails from Wales. He's an attacker, plays on the right-hand side. He's also come through the youth structures of Plymouth Argyle. Will be turning 18 at the end of this month. So just bringing on another teenager. Caleb Roberts, the number 34, out there as well. So it's an early change. We are anticipating that there will be a lot of changes. Word from Orlando Pirates camp is that they want to have almost a different 11 in the second half. So we'll see how that goes. And it makes sense. You want to give everyone a bit of a run. This is their first outing.
I'm sure the viewers in South Africa who are watching this will be looking forward to seeing, you know, a buffet of players that will be given an opportunity to come through. Family members are watching, and you can only imagine the conversations. You say, my son is in Spain, so let me go watch this. So Mom wants to see you in the field of play, or wifey wants to see you, or the kids wants to see you in the field of play.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Maroba. Very organized in defense, Plymouth Argyle. Was that offside? Oh, referee, no, the flag stays down. Very good ball, and a chance here. Managed to keep it out.
Did it not cross the line? I'll be interested to see that again.
Wow, you won't get to see it again, of course. But unfortunately, and also, there's no VAR.
I know. But what a move. Orlando Pirates is all started on the right-hand side. Threaded it through onto the center. Seems to be enjoying themselves. When this man drops deep, Tito, as they call him Swangani, he starts making things happen.
This is a magnificent facility, the Marbella Football Center, and features a lot of several training grounds. As I said, provide facilities as the keeper gets down well to make the save. Pirates asking a couple of questions just in the last 5 minutes.
More like it. Cooper is being tested. Now it's their turn, Plymouth Argyle, to see what they conjure up. It's Maela under pressure on the left-hand side.
Mo. Please call Mo. Here's an opportunity, another corner for Plymouth. This is their second corner of the game. Pirates yet to have a corner. And you see, if you read the signal, let's see where this one goes. It's a far post. And over hit that one. Bit of a wasted one. It'll frustrate the big men, the center backs, who have to now trot all the way back there.
I'm also thinking, if you play an outswing, is it a better option? My answer is no. An in-swing is better for any defender to attack the ball, because when it's played as an outswing, to connect with it, you've got to have some technique. So it's always tricky.
Pressure, great pressure placed here. Could be a chance here for Plymouth Argyle. What a save from Sipho Chain. And that was the press applied to good effect by Plymouth, and a real let-off there. In fact, a save from Chain. Who was it that lost the ball there, or who was caught on the ball?
Now, here's the difference so far. If you look at both teams, for Pirates to get the ball into the box, they have a couple of touches before they get it in there. The difference, though, is when Plymouth Argyle get the ball, they get it into the box quicker, and they're starting to force saves out of Chain, who's so far doing well. So that's the difference. For Pirates to get it into the box, there's a couple of touches which they do. For Plymouth Argyle, it's more about the economics of saying, let's try to get it quicker into the box. Let's try and force a save out of the keeper.
Certainly really is a tester. Temperatures now are 37 degrees. Yeah. So, yeah, they really are getting a proper workout. 36 degrees Celsius humidity. Not as bad as it could be potentially in these parts of the world. Now, Olisanda.
That's where, as a player, the ice bath after the match. Could it be goal? Yes.
Oh, there
yes.
we go.
No? Yes.
Yes, it's given.
It's given.
And it's Pirates that make the breakthrough then. Plymouth Argyle have come closest to score. In fact, Pirates had a great opportunity about 10 minutes ago, which they didn't convert. But now they do get one past the keeper, Michael Cooper. And that one this time is given.
Well worked down the right-hand side. Always tricky for defenders and the keeper to deal with a cross that's played in between the defense and the keeper. Easy for the person that's attacking, because all you need to do is just to change direction of the ball, and then because the keeper would have been bypassed at the time. So it's a good showing so far for Pirates.
Just confirm for you in a moment who got the final touch there.
I think it's evidence Makopa could be wrong. But
yeah, I was also thinking Makopa. Apologies though, of course we won't have a replay for you. This is pre-season action. This is essentially a training match. So don't have the full kit out there. And now here is a chance for Plymouth to get back on level terms immediately. Great work again defensively from around the Pirates, and now this time it's drilled past the keeper. And a big cheer from the holiday makers in Plymouth Green there in the stands, and it hasn't taken long for them to draw a level.
It's always easy to concede a goal when you've just scored. Why do I say that? The level of excitement is still pretty high. You get too complacent. And that's what happened now with Orlando Pirates. I think they scored, they, sort of let their guts down, and the defending wasn't good enough, but good response from Plymouth Argyle to come back, bounce back as quick as they've done. So lessons learned by Orlando Pirates so far.
So 5 minutes to go to the break. It's 1-1. And Pirates' lead lasted all of 1 minute. Very good response. Now Saleng have to do it all again to Orlando Pirates. Oh, a great save! Appeals there. They're looking for appealing for a penalty. Are the Pirates players? No can do.
Listen, I think if you look at both teams so far, it's the same scenario. The Plymouth Argyle just scored a goal, and again they're very complacent at the back. Good response by Orlando Pirates. It's opening up. I think players are getting sharper and sharper in terms of going forward. Keepers are being tested.
So just evidence Makopa giving Orlando Pirates the lead in the 39th minute, and a minute later the equalizer for Plymouth coming from Isaka. The 17-year-old, I beg your pardon, the 17-year-old who came on as a sub, Frederick Isaka, equalizing for Plymouth Argyle as we're near halftime. Oh no, it came off his own man there. Now Olisanda helps himself to a second. Now the floodgates have opened. Pirates go back in front.
Yes. I think both players are getting sharper. The belief is there. They're taking the chances that they're creating. And to see Nda profiting from a corner, it's a good response himself as well, Orlando Pirates. You could ask the same thing in terms of Plymouth Argyle to say, you scored and suddenly you got complacent because you conceded that early as well. Good response by Orlando Pirates. So it's an open game.
2-1, Pirates go back in front. It's a goal that Olisanda would have enjoyed. You know, the centre backs don't get on the score sheet that much. So where every opportunity that they get, and well taken there. There were a lot of bodies in front of him. So to get it past all those bodies, a good effort from the Nigerian, from our Nigerian junior international, Olisa Ndam. Now space down that right-hand side for Plymouth. Can they draw level before the break here? Olisa Ndam, who has yet to score, by the way. A senior goal. He has to score a game in a competitive game for Orlando Pirates. It's not surprising, though, when you look at how he plays his football. It doesn't get into many scoring opportunities, not even really at set-piece time.
I don't think he's that sort of player. Yes, you say based on his height, he would offer you something, but I think it's more focusing on defensive duties, which he does with such finesse. He's not the type that will go for slight tackles. He reads the game quite well, communicates well, but also engaging. He becomes part of the team when they are attacking based on the passes that he provides, the midfielders, ability to switch the ball from both left to right.
A foul, given a free kick here for the foul on Bali Mumba. Opportunity for Plymouth Argyle from in this last minute of regulation at the end of this first half for them to try and get level again for the second time. Floated in, solid header away. Here's Mumba again. Now try to work it wide to Plymouth Argyle. Good block to stop the ball going past the first. Adam Randall tried the cross here. Now Saleng with a chance to stretch his legs is a bit isolated. So Plymouth with numbers at the back were able to deal with that one as we get into stoppage time.
Now the difference between Saleng and then you have Maswanganyi is that every time he has to pass the ball, he tends to look down. He doesn't look at where he's passing the ball. And that's critical because that's the end product that we're looking for. Yes, you can improvise, take players on, but it's the end product that matters. And that's one of the elements of his game that he needs to improve on. They're talking about making a change. And we understand it's preseason. That's more like a...
Looks like a hamstring.
A hamstring scenario.
Well, if it's the way he's lying there, it doesn't look good.
No.
Hey, but it's not worth risking it, even if it's not a bad one.
It's not.
You might well just they'll do well to just pull him off and replace him and just trying to make out who it is that's down. So it's not good news. Says, hope it's not Livizzo, a man who's just come back from injury.
It looks like Tito.
Is it Tito Maswanganyi?
Looks like it.
Yeah, it is. It's hobbling off. And you know, that always will, you have your heart in your throat as a player when you feel something like this. So in pre-season, just means it's going to delay the start of your campaign. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. It looked like a hamstring though, that was being attended to. And they're still continuing doing more work with him on the side there. Floats one in here to the back post. Does Mumba, who's been busy on this left-hand side in the first half. Now, chance for the the break here for, here's Saleng popping up on the left-hand side. Good work by the defender just to get in front of him. That's the whistle for halftime then. An entertaining end to the first half, which had a bit of a slow start. Pirates were first to break the deadlock through Evidence Makuba. Both goals actually coming from scrambles in the goal mouth after a set piece. And then Olisa Ndam from a corner as well, pouncing onto a loose ball and planting it in the roof of the net to make it 2-1 again just before the break. So the goals coming in the space of 3 minutes, really 4 minutes at the end of this first half. So halftime here at the Banus Football Center in this pre-season friendly. Orlando Pirates of South Africa 2 and Plymouth Argyle of the English Championship 1.
Thank money.
100 it. Hey, Tato, how's life?
Yes, what happened to Jose and his family is very sad. I want to secure my family with what I have.
Oh, Chogage, uyabona ngoku uzaya kuhle ndayithanda le ntetho yakho. Ashupol is your answer.
Oh, Kurman wena tshela mina kanjani?
We all know how difficult it is for one to deal with a sudden death. They pay double the policy amount when it comes to accidental death claim.
You know for sure that's highly needed, especially in my line of work.
If family yonke, the entire family is covered, Ashupol.
You know, Kurman Lambu, it's reassuring to know that there's always a glimpse of hope with Ashupol.
Ashupol has withstood the test of time for 110 years. You can trust Ashupol. Ashupol ithemba lamathemba. Trust Ashupol to serve you.
Yeah.
SMS call to 38505 and we'll call you back.
This July on Supersport, cycling's elite are lining up to claim the yellow jersey in the 111th edition of the Tour de France. Who will reign supreme as the world's best players descend on the grass courts of Wimbledon? Turn your Saturdays green and gold as the Boks take on the Irish in 2 titanic tests. The action comes to a climax as the champions of Europe are crowned. On the 20th, the Springboks close off the Castle Lager incoming tour against Los Lobos. And Royal Troon is the setting for golf's grandest major, the Open Championships. Then from the 26th, it's all eyes on Paris as 206 countries hunt for gold at the 2024 Olympic Games. In what world is every sport an official language? Only on your World of Champions.
How? They just lost.
Yeah.
And that means that you lose.
Yeah, but I get 10% of my net losses back on Monday because I bet over 500 bucks. Guess who does what bets? Bet at least 500 Rand on sport this weekend and get 10% of any net losses back on Monday. Bet more, get more with Supersport Bet. For the fans.
The dream arrives. End of July.
The story of love began when Baba Valentino taught Cupid how to shoot.
Try this.
Later, Valentino the 41st
Hey girl, you've been...
made the mixtape.
Try this.
But then came Amma 2000s.
Why did you like her post?
Baba had to take a different approach.
Shame.
Hey! Try this. When love is tough, love me tender.
Coach of Plymouth Argyle, it's Wayne Rooney. Coach, the only team you're playing in Spain is Orlando Pirates. How did you come to that decision? Why?
Yeah, well, that decision was made before I come in as coach, so the game was already in place. The pre-season was already organised before I joined the club, so but no, I'm delighted obviously to have my first game against the Pirates, and I'm sure it'll be a good game.
What do you know about Orlando Pirates?
Yeah, a bit, obviously not too much in terms of, we've obviously done a little bit of homework for the game today in how they play and how we prepare for this game. So as I said before, I think it'll be a good game for us physically. We're trying to get up to speed, but a good opportunity for me to drill a little tactics into the players what I want.
What kind of football match are you looking from your boys, and what would you like to see the Pirates boys bring to that match?
Yeah, no, for us it's obviously it's about getting the work in, and physically we will change the team at half-time, so the players will play 45 minutes each. So physically it's just about getting the minutes in, but also the principles which I want from the players in terms of with the ball, without the ball, and just how organised we are and how we want to move the ball and try and create opportunities to score.
So what is a Wayne Rooney coached Plymouth going to play like?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see over the next few weeks, but no, I think obviously I want to play attacking football and create chances and try and score as many goals as we can, but also on the flip side of that, make sure we're very organised and difficult to play against.
Now, I know my partner in crime here wants to talk to you a little bit very quickly about the big man up front, in Morgan Whittaker.
Coach, you're a great striker yourself, an international player, legend of the game. Morgan Whittaker, 19 goals last season, 8 assists. How do you help him to improve and take his game to the next level?
Yeah, I know Morgan very well. I had Morgan when I was coach at Derby County. Morgan was at Derby County with us, so I know him well as a person and what makes him tick. And he had a fantastic season last season, scored a lot of goals, a lot of goal involvement. And for me, is trying to, keep adding to his strengths. His strengths are his finishing. He's a very good finisher. 1v1, he's a very good player. But if we can improve on that as well and try and get him in better areas in the pitch, then we certainly have a very good footballer.
Also, when you're looking at the conditions today, it's 43 degrees, the sun is baking down. How do you think the weather is going to affect your team in terms of the rhythm and the tempo of the game?
Yeah, well, it will do, of course. It's a very hot day. Yeah. So I think for both teams, it's important how you manage the game, and you want to keep the ball, and obviously it's less running if you do that. And but yeah, I think the weather, it's a hot day. As I said before, the players will be getting 45 minutes each from my team, and so there's no excuse for them not to put the work in for that 45 minutes.
Last question, Wayne, is what will be a good season for you when the dust has settled at the end of the season? What would constitute a good season for you?
Yeah, no, for us, it's about improving on, where we finished last season. That's a goal of ours to keep doing that, and we're not stupid in expecting us to jump into the Premier League within one season. I think that's a goal for the club. That will take time, and we have to just keep trying to build, keep improving, and hopefully that will lead us to that.
Thank you for your time.
Okay.
The name's Lebo. Yeah, I've been a stuntman for like 15 years.
It's all the same these days.
I guess I just need a little...
Come alive with sunbet.coza and get more from every moment.
This is not just a big tackle. This is more than a perfectly weighted pass. This is not just the execution of a kick or set piece you've trained days for. This is more than the 5 points that left you bruised and battered. This is bigger than the burn in your lungs. Because this is not just a trophy. This is the cup that holds our greatest hope and proudest history. And now it's your moment to be its champion. The Carling Curry Cup. History is in your hands. Are you not entertained? Only on your World of Champions, Supersport. Broadcast proudly driven by Suzuki.
Get closer to your champions with Supersport and Toyota as we meet the athletes that are primed for Paris.
Bonjour, I'm Eliud Kipchoge, competing in the marathon for Team Kenya. This is my 5th Olympic. The preparation actually has been tough, fighting to make history by winning the 3rd Olympic gold medal. It takes seconds, minutes, hours, weeks, months of training to become an Olympian. The winning is just your character. My excitement towards Paris is trying to win the 3rd gold medal. I trust in my trainings, I trust in myself, and I believe that it will be a huge impact if I will win a gold medal for that time and put myself in history for becoming the first human being.
Follow Africa's Olympians, bringing the fire to the greatest stage of all.
A bientôt, Paris.
Closer to your champions, sponsored by Toyota.
Johnson Workwear. Sizes that measure up.
How? They just lost.
Yeah.
And that means that you lose.
Yeah, but I get 10% of my net losses back on Monday because I bet over 500 bucks. Guess who must what bets? Bet at least 500 Rand on sport this weekend and get 10% of any net losses back on Monday. Bet more, get more with SuperSport Bet. For the fans.
We all have one thing in common. We all have our parents that are in the limelight.
Being born into fame.
I enjoy it most of the time.
Let's go!
Being born into this fame thing is just fresh.
I need a deal, bruh. Like, my dad doesn't really give me that support.
She's an unloyal hun.
I don't tell people, but I'll be irritating.
It's about to be a roller coaster.
Crazy! We're in Hollywood, baby.
I present to you Exhibit B.
Look familiar, Mr. Wilson.
Where's Quincy?
Will somebody find the actor?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Quasi, we need you on set.
It's showtime. Woo!
Abajo tenía mi plan. Por ahí que te tiras tú. Sí, tenía mi plan. Sí, ¿no? Pero yo ahí lo perdí. Vale, aquí qué tal. Mira, mira. Cuando llevo un viaje, este tú entero también y ya está. Pues vete tú para el corte de ahí. Sí, yo seré así. Coge la mesa. ¿Tú lo has usado o qué? ¿Eh? ¿El zoom lo has usado? No. No, porque... Da igual, tengo este súper controlado, ¿sabes? Perfecto. No quiero así de entrada, ¿sabes? Voy a ir a por un largo. Y enchufa esto ya. Pues me dejo aquí, ¿no? Tengo algo de sombra. No, no, está más. Soy capaz de ir a por día. Digo, a Montevideo. ¿Tiro? Recuerda que abajo está tu enchufe. Ah, bueno, vale. Hey, saying again or saying again? De aquí tengo que ver, ¿no? ¿Cómo vas a ir por ahí una vez? ¿Eh? Sí, con el helicóptero. Que te viste de bien. 5
Nandi manek move. Yahuta is trying to.
Yo estaba ahí en un plano de eso. Digo,
To the Banus Football Center in Marbella, Spain, on Spain's Costa del Sol in the region of Andalusia. It is a preseason action featuring Orlando Pirates of South Africa in action against the English Championship side Plymouth Argyle. It's Pirates from South Africa that lead by 2-1 going into the second half. Goals by striker Evidence Marupa and centre-back Olisanda, a man who doesn't often get on the score sheet for Orlando Pirates. He got the second after Plymouth Argyle had equalized through 17-year-old Frederick Isaka. So we are waiting for the both teams to make their way out. The Pirates are out early, and the Plymouth players just on the sideline just doing a quick limbering up before running back on. And listen, the scoreline maybe 2-1, but it's been a fairly open game. There have been opportunities at both ends. Both teams have had plenty of chances. The Pirates could perhaps have been even further ahead. Plymouth Argyle themselves, they've been a little bit more ruthless. Could have been maybe perhaps more goals on the score sheet. Well, we expect to see some changes in the second half. And I can already see, I think I've already spotted on the side of Plymouth Argyle, one of the newer players that has just been brought in, Darko Gyabi. I've just seen him making his way out onto the field. I also spotted Morgan Wikitiga, the top scorer last season. I've just spotted him as well. And Darko Gyabi, he's a central midfielder, is Gyabi. And he is wearing jersey number 18 as we are back underway. If you've just joined us, Orlando Pirates are playing in all black on the ball. They are playing from right to left of your picture. Plymouth Argyle in the green shirts and white shorts. It's Sipo Chain with the ball at feet. As is so, that's a great ball out wide to pick out one of the changes, Dion Hotto, who's come onto the field for Orlando Pirates. Superb pass from Chain. What a start this from Orlando Pirates at the start of this second half. An excellent ball from the goalkeeper to pick out Dion Hotto.
That's a goalkeeper who can also become an infield player, because you use the goalkeepers in terms of for modern football. They are part of the attack when we're in possession, and the distribution, if you look at the touches, it takes 2 touches from the keeper onto the left-hand side, straight into the box. Well worked. And I think the technical team at Pirates would be very impressed based on the build-up, the identification of space, attacking that space. That's the option they have. They can build from the back, but there's variation in terms of how they play.
We'll talk you through the changes as we go along. I can also tell you that Spello Paloni is on the field at midfielder, and Hotto, as we can see, is back on is also on the field there. We'll confirm who's gone off. I suspect it might be the skipper, Innocent Maela, who would have made way down this left-hand side. We'll confirm for you the other changes as we spot them.
Yeah, it's a bit tricky when you look at where Hotto is. And to say, Maela is he off? Yes.
Yeah, I can't see Maela out
there. No, Maela is not there.
Oh, mistake there. Is that Tabiso Munyani? I think on the ball. No, it wasn't Munyani.
No, it was Paloni, I think.
Was it Paloni that... in fact, no, I think it was Sasani. I don't know what he was doing, tracking back there.
No, there's no way you could get to the ball when you're backpedaling like that.
I think that was Sasani. I think he's out there. Rile Mofokeng losing possession there. This is good stuff here now from Plymouth Argyle, and a shot there from Morgan Whittaker. That was the top scorer, 23-year-old who scored 19 goals in his 46 appearances last season. Player who featured in all of Plymouth Argyle's matches last season. He's been rumored to be on his way out of the club, and nothing has been finalized yet. But yeah, with 19 goals, you can see why he would have attracted interest. He knows his way to go. Oh, nice drop of the shoulder there. Tell you what, there are some good players in this Argyle side. Good running. That's going to be a penalty.
Penalty? Yes.
That's going to be a penalty. A bit of a change of pace there. I got the better of the defender there. I'm just trying to see, was it Sisani who got caught out there by the pace, and a chance for Plymouth Argyle to draw a level here just early on in the second half. Is it a substitute? That looks like Ryan Hardy that has the ball. Let's put the ball down, and let's see whether Sipochain can do what he does with such great regularity. Saved a penalty in the final of the cup final. In fact, this is Buthelezi. He's also come onto the field now. There's a change in goal as well, yeah? And Buthelezi, oh, does a Sipochain. Would have been very proud of that. Gets down well to make the save and keep Pirates 2-1 lead. Oh, that's good work from Buthelezi.
Great save. I think for me, it didn't have enough power.
No. Because it was well placed.
It was well placed. It didn't have enough power. But for Buthelezi, you've just come on. The confidence is pretty high. You've just saved the penalty.
12 starts in the Premiership last season, and also to that, he made a two appearances in a cup competition. Did Buthelezi. Was very much the second choice, but he got a good run when the Chain was injured. Now Pirates on attack here. Keeper collects it. We'll have to confirm whether it's still Michael Cooper in goal. Pirates have made rung the changes so that they're in goal as well. There's
Mabasa as well.
It's Tsirofatsa Mabasa has also made his way out onto the field. Lesedi Kapinga, I think, are also spotted out there.
Did I see someone as well that looks like Kimfuidi? But we'll have a look, because I think they've rung the changes.
It was said that they would play 22 players in total. So everybody gets a chance, which makes perfect sense. Sesani there with the interception. Apologies, if you're just joining us and maybe thinking the quality is not what you're quite used to. Well, of course, this is literally just a practice match, so you don't have the full facilities on site, and then this is a quality as incoming from the match venue. A streaming feed is what you are watching, and that's why you'll also find that we will not see any replays or any close-ups of players and that sort of thing. So just bear that in mind.
That's Kimfuidi.
That is the Karim Kimfuidi, the Congolese. Mofokeng teasing his man, and still Pirates keeping possession, and it took a deflection on its way through. It'll be a corner. Good stuff there from Orlando Pirates to fashion a shot. Tsirofatsa Mabasa finished the season so well, the top goal scorer in the last season in the Premiership, the South African Premiership. Finished as top goal scorer, did Tsirofatsa Mabasa. Total of 16 goals rather. 10 of them for Orlando Pirates, 6 for Morocco Swallows. So that was in the Premiership, and in the Cup he added another 3 goals. So 19 goals, a good haul for Tsegofatso Mabasa. As the corner comes in, that's the first corner, by the way, for Orlando Pirates. The third one takes a deflection on its way through. It'll be another corner for Pirates. Good pressure being applied here by the South African side.
Well, it's good pressure. I think I also like the fact that they're sharing the ball, moving it as quick as possible. To do that, it says a lot. One, in terms of the level of fitness, the sharpness of the players.
Mofokeng, youngest player of the season in the South African Domestic League last campaign, a 19-year-old who really, I think this season coming will be the real tester for him now, because he's had his breakout season. He'll be very much a marked man, and they know what he's about now. No longer a surprise package and an unknown factor. So it'll be very interesting to see how he fares in the season coming. Of course, he also had a trial last season, went out to Wolverhampton Wanderers of the English Premier League. And just a bit of a sighter, but I think he's still got a lot of development to do. Not by any means saying he's too young, but here come Plymouth again. Here's Whittaker. Cross into the middle. Ryan Whittaker.
I just want to qualify the statement that he just said. Remember, there was a Saleng that had a good season in terms of how he was playing, and the second season he dropped. And as you say, it is a real test as well for Mofokeng. He's just had a good season, scoring vital goals, great football. It's a real test now, because that's the second season. Teams know about you. You become part of their game plan to try and neutralize you. It's all about you as well, on how you mature in your game to try and make things happen and stay in that zone. It's the most difficult thing. And we've seen players that have a good season and they fade out.
Yeah, absolutely. The second season syndrome. That's really Mofokeng teasing his man there.
But based on what I'm seeing, he just enjoys having the ball at his feet. So given the opportunity, I'm sure he'll continue to want to up his game.
Yeah, look, the thing is, he plays with so much freedom. He's not intimidated at all.
No,
that's a crucial interception there. Talent Mbata on the ball, another one of the changes.
And I think one of the key aspects that he's got, I mean, one of the key things that I watched about him after the Nedbank Cup final, he had a conversation with the great Teko Modise. And I could hear, because the mics were not too far, and he was telling him that he's such a good player, but you need to continue working hard. And that's the key thing. That's very important, to continue to do that. And you have players who've been there, played at the highest level, and are willing to share advice to you. And I think to have had a conversation with Teko Modise, who's played for Orlando Pirates, that it should be something that he takes in. And I also think that the family needs to help him as well, to help him to
the good thing is that
grounded.
He comes from a close-knit family. His parents are very involved in his football.
Correct.
So, which augurs well, because I think they'll be there to keep a close eye on him, and will be right there when if he strays from the right path. We've all seen the talent that he's got, and that's got to be backed up with discipline and hard work. As a man there has a strike from range, it's just flies well wide of target.
The great players will tell you, talent alone doesn't make you great.
No.
It's Mike Tyson says, sometimes you've got to train even if you don't want to train.
Yeah.
But you've got to go out and do it anyway.
So one of those great ironies is that talent can actually be a burden.
Yeah.
Can hold you back, because you'll find that you don't have to work as hard as some players who are less talented.
True.
And it's the ones that develop that worth ethic that get further, even with on less talent, so to speak. Now, quick throw in, a short throw in. One of the subs that has also come on there for Plymouth, and the throw in is goes the way of Plymouth. if it is a free kick that the referee has blown for. Darko Gyabi is the possession lost. Plymouth, and they regain it. Whittaker, nice little touch there. Pirates are closing them down quickly when winning possession very back quickly after losing it. Talentum, but being direct. This is very good from Pirates. Just couldn't pick out the run of Mabasa there. A nice little build-up. Having stolen possession, they turned defense into attack very quickly there, did Pirates.
I'm saying Mabasa, he should have had a shot. Awkward as it may have seemed, but just killing it onto the far side would have been a better, except that it came to perhaps the softer foot in terms of the right foot. He's a left-footed player. But good touches, good movement on and off the ball by Orlando Pirates.
Plymouth Argyle, as mentioned a little earlier, head back to England after this match. They'll be facing next Saturday. They'll be up against Cheltenham Town in a friendly, followed by, in fact, they got 4 friendlies coming up against championship opposition. Torquay United, Bristol Rovers, Cheltenham Town is up next, and then Milton, the MK Dons, just before, I think on the final weekend before the start of the season proper. So, busy pre-season program. Haven't got the full program as yet for Orlando Pirates, but they've got a match coming up against Sevilla. Can tell you that. The next match on Monday will be against Sevilla.
That's taking it a step higher.
Yep, absolutely. La Liga opposition for them, that will be another test. So they've gone for real strong opposition this time. Yes, Plymouth Argyle, but shown too much of that ball to the keeper.
I think the teams with the resources, I'm talking your Chiefs, your Pirates, your Sundowns, they should be credited. In fact, I read a very interesting article by Roger Dissart praising the teams that are beginning to make their pre-seasons and visiting these countries where football it's played at the highest level, to accumulate that much experience, but also to enhance the ambition of the players themselves. I think it is a good thing, and I can only encourage it for a lot of the teams as well to embark on this sort of journey. Maybe we should start by going to Ghana and all of these other countries and have a pre-season there.
Yeah, well, Kaizer Chiefs will be, they're currently in Turkey, but when they do return, one of the matches they'll play is against the return match against the Young Africans who hosted them last season in pre-season, the Tanzanian champions.
Bloemfontein.
Yes, that one will be the Toyota Cup, played on the 28th, Sunday the 28th at the Toyota Stadium in Bloemfontein. Here's a change. Ibrahim Sissoko, player on loan, Dutch under-21 winger, on loan from Ligue 1 club Toulouse. He's the latest to be introduced by Plymouth Argyle.
You would have thought that a team that has a touch of Wayne Rooney in it would have an outright striker who's aggressive, and by now you would have had about 5 or 6 shots on target. That's putting pressure onto anyone that has got that role.
Now, this is Talent Mbata. Just to go back to that program, as I was saying, Orlando Pirates on Monday will play Sevilla. And then on Wednesday, they face Granada, another Spanish side. And then they'll finish off their tour for their trip to Spain against Al Saad of Qatar on the 19th of July. That is next weekend. Whoa, that's a good ball whipped in and open net. That's a great ball whipped in across there. And that's from the Sissoko. The player who's just come on, the young Dutch winger who's just come on. And good stuff there from Plymouth Argyle, and that levels up the scores at 2-all. Good movement there from Plymouth.
Well, good movement all around, but I'm just looking at the ease in terms of how they've done it. I mean, it's almost like the Pirates' defense was non-existent, and I think those are areas, those are the details of the game. You've scored, you're in the lead. What you need to do is to be able to defend your lead, and there are situations that are becoming crucial. You might take them lightly because you're playing what you may call it's a preseason game, but those are some of the qualities that you should have defensively to be able to stop those kind of crosses to come in your area.
Well, this is August. Well, it's been that kind of game, though, where both sides have created plenty of opportunities, and it levels it up now at 2-all for Plymouth Argyle. The scorer there of the equalizer was Wright. Callum Wright, the scorer of the equalizer. And the assist there from Sissoko, Ibrahim Sissoko. Good crook ball out wide again, looking for Sissoko and picking him out. And two players getting a tangle. Which way is the referee going to give it? Goes the way of Orlando Pirates. Other way, Wayne Rooney, Brian Mate, actually has encountered Orlando Pirates before in his playing days. In 2008, July 2008, so 16 years ago, he featured for Manchester United in a friendly in Durban at Kings Park against Orlando Pirates in the Vodacom Challenge, as it was known back then, a match that Man United won by a 1-0. They also played 2 games against Kaizer Chiefs, a 1-1 draw, and then beat Chiefs comprehensively 4-0. So yeah, the coach on the bench there, Wayne Rooney, has had an opportunity against South African sides, and especially Pirates, way back then in 2008.
Familiar with the color black and white and the name of the club as well.
Vodacom Challenge used to have the likes of Tottenham Hotspur, who came out to play against Orlando Pirates as well. Team that included the likes of Jermaine Defoe, Dutch international Wesley Sneijder, I think, was part of that side as well.
Yeah, I think that when Tottenham came, I think Likono Losiema was part of that team. He was a captain.
Of course, man who was last season in charge of Sekhukhune United for a period. Sekhukhune United will be brought in a new coach, a German coach. Another Southern African or South African connection with Plymouth, by the way, is Benjani Moruari. He's part of the...
He was hot.
He's a top marksman.
He was hot.
He is now a junior coach, or a coach of the junior sides at Plymouth Argyle. He's a great Zimbabwean marksman, Benjani.
He was
Moruari.
Ruthless. Well, credit has got to go to Jomana because he knows how to find them.
Yep, that's Jomo Sono, used to unearth all sorts of talent. Here they come again, the Plymouth now. Whittaker starting to get onto the ball a lot more. The man who was top scorer for Plymouth Argyle last season.
The congestion in that midfield. Ready to have the play switched. Someone needs to make a run on the left-hand side for the Pirates.
Benjani Moruwaru we're talking about, because of course played also for Portsmouth, Manchester City as well at the time. really had a fantastic career. Talent Mbata, speaking of fantastic careers, he's one who's looks well on his way. You know, the way that he's landed at Orlando Pirates has been so impressive. He brings such a great dimension to the Pirates play. He's so direct in his passing, passes the ball forward, and that's a rare quality.
Yes, it's a rare breed because you know he's more of solution-based passes. You know, when he gives you a pass, it's because you've made a run and it complements the run that you made. There are very few players that are able to do that. You know, it's not just about short passes. I think there's a player that's struggling on the Pirate side. I'll tell you now. He's up front.
Speaking of struggling, we haven't had an update.
It's Mabasa.
Haven't had an update yet on Tito Maswangangi, who hobbled off with a hamstring injury in that first half.
They're trying to conjure something with the Otto. Mabasa just tried to lay it for Otto. Pretty much a versatile player for Orlando Pirates on the left-hand side. You want him to play left back, he'll play left back. You want him to play as a winger, he always does that. Winning horse.
Big runner as well. Look at Buthelezi coming a long way out. He'll have to rush back as well. He looked to take a quick throw. And there were just no options in the box there for Plymouth. So the short throw. Laying it backwards to Matthew Sorinola.
So pre-season allows you, I think there's going to be a break, but I also think that we're not going to see Mabas. For me, he doesn't look well. He's sort of limping.
I wonder also, I think players are just adjusting as well to the heat out there. That's why we are having another cooling break. Temperatures touching on 40 degrees. It's a slog out there. Peaked at about 36-7 degrees a little earlier. So it's going to be a super test of fitness out there for all concerned. But the water breaks are, the cooling breaks are, but they actually are longer than you'd normally expect. Just to make sure that everybody stays well hydrated. You can see they're battling, and these are players that have come on in the second half. Some
Some of them have got towels in their heads. It just tells you how hot it is. And sometimes nutrition plays a key role. We're going to start seeing one or two players cramping.
The only player then that Pirates didn't change at the break was Rele Mofokeng. Like he's got no business going off early. He's still young. Let him run.
Yeah, his recovery is quite quick.
So they've got
playing.
Otherwise, they've made 10 changes then from the team that started in the first half. Plymouth have also run the changes. Spotted already at least 6 changes. 2-2 is the score line. Reflective of the way the game has gone. Both sides have created opportunities. Some neat passing movements from both sides also coming through. So that with the Plymouth on the side of Plymouth, they look good forward, going forward. At times, got some useful looking players. Young Sissoko, Mohamed Sissoko, the under-21 Dutch international who came on down the left-hand side. This looked really good.
I think for both coaches, they would talk about how good their team looked going forward and the response in terms of getting the goals. However, they would have taken or made notes in terms of how quickly they conceded, both of them. So you've got to be able to work on the sharpness or the alertness of the players and control certain situations, particularly when you've just scored, you're still excited and you just get caught quickly and you concede a goal. So they probably have to think about that and highlight it on the players.
Players slowly making their way back out to resume the last just over a quarter of an hour of this first outing for both sides since they've been out here in Marbella. And this is the first of 4 matches that Orlando Pirates will be playing, while the Plymouth Argyle squad head back to the UK tomorrow. All set then to resume action. Tabiso Manyani on the ball.
So the different skill set that goalkeepers must also have now is to be able to build from the back. Your passing has got to be crisp. Gone are the days where you just kick the ball forward. Now you're part of the game, you know, in terms of attack. So the distribution is going to be good. And we've seen certain bloops in goalkeepers making mistakes trying to build from the back. It takes a bit of confidence.
Oh, it's a good ball across there. No one could latch onto it, and so it's a let off there for Plymouth Argyle. Now they can start an attack of their own. That good running there to come and cut that one out from Sisani. Tabiso Sisani had a great season with the Orlando Pirates, having been returned from being on loan, and got an opportunity because of the injury issues that Pirates had with centre-backs last time. It gave him more of an opportunity than ordinarily he would have had. As Plymouth Argyle now looking to break down that left-hand side. Well intercepted by Baloni.
So now all the players at Pirates, their state of readiness has got to be that good because of their addition in terms of being part of the CAF Champions League. So the state of readiness of all the players who are part of the team, they have to be that good, because when the team is traveling, the remaining players have got to be continue training, because it's a responsibility they just added to themselves based on the success they've had.
And Plymouth Argyle is also a club that has had history with African players. In fact, they do have, even in the squad, as mentioned, the player who was played in the first half, Mohamed Tijani, a centre-back. But most famously, an African player who featured for them, none other than Onisimo Basera, was one of the players that I think is a name that is still well loved amongst the supporters of the Pilgrims. Played 114 matches, did Onisimo Basera for them. The only African player to be named as the club's player of the year. Onisimo Basera, of course, is the Zimbabwe former Zimbabwean international who now is a senior statesman at SuperSport United. They actually have another Zimbabwean in their squad, the Plymouth Argyle. I'm not entirely sure whether we will get to see him. That is Brandon Galloway. Brandon Zibuseso Galloway. Born in Harare. He's an experienced player, 28 years old. I've not spotted him amongst the squad here. So left back, so I don't think we'll be, unfortunately, don't think we'll be seeing him.
You know, when you talk about players who are quite durable, like Honorable Basera, who continues to play, if you look at TS Galaxy, they still have Vuyo Mere, who's also one of those players.
Oh, that's a great ball played through, yeah. Buthelezi committed. This is very good work and great cover provided there
by Otto.
Deon Otto, of all people, the last man standing. That was superb play from Plymouth. And with the keeper having committed there, was found in no man's land and did a good job to round him, but great cover provided by Otto, who I still see is wearing a mask. Still out here looking like Victor Osimhen. Or Kylian Mbappe more recent. Suffered a facial injury towards the end of last season. And, I would have thought he would be over it, and that's a worry.
He's got more problems. His team did not perform well.
Now, this is very nice stuff here. Some nice touches there from Plymouth. Here's Whittaker. Morgan Whittaker.
There's some identity in terms of how Plymouth plays. You can tell the structure, you can tell the influence from their coach. There's a player of Pirates who's down at, I think it's cramping.
Yep.
To show, we'll have a look at who that player is. But definitely there is a player who's down, who's going to now get attention. And I can tell you he's cramping. Nothing more. There.
That's hasn't been on that long.
Can't be talented.
That's not talent, no. But I think it's at Baloni. He hasn't been on very long. So it's a surprise to see him struggling there with the cramps. But it is that time of the season. Early days yet in the season. So shouldn't be entirely too surprised to see that.
There's a whole lot of things that comes with the sort of cramps, and those that know better will tell you the importance of diet, that you've got to eat, hydration as well, that becomes key.
In this situation, it's the hydration that's been an issue.
And the training, a week before, you must have started yourself to do that, to start training yourself. Don't have to wait for the day where you officially open and then you go there and you haven't started. So you're starting from ground zero. So that's also very important. And I've seen it with a whole lot of players who would be training pretty early before they go back. So that's the demands of being a professional.
Melusi Buthelezi then, who's had to pick the ball out of the net once. As we are into the closing 10 minutes then of this one. Opening match of pre-season here for Orlando Pirates on their European tour. Started the touchdown on Tuesday. We've got a free kick here to Orlando Pirates. And just in terms of players who are also, I mean, this is an opportunity to look at new players. There's left centre back, left back there for who came on in the second half for Plymouth Argyle, Nathaniel Ogbeta, who was he's been signed from Bolton Wanderers, League One these days. Bolton Wanderers, a club that. Those of you who can remember that far back, Mark Fish famously played for when they were a Premier League club.
Yep.
The former Bafana International. Before that, he was with Swansea. 23-year-old, has already been around a while. He's when there was a Manchester City junior. He's wearing jersey number 3 out there. Look out for him. Quick one taken there as they work it wide. Now, this is good running here. Good feet there. Kept in play, was it? It was indeed. Still in play. Some very nice touches there. Useful looking players with the ball at feet.
I think the team, Plymouth, overall, are very comfortable on the ball. There's a structure about them. They're still work in progress, but I think there's some identity. I think for me, when I look at a team, it's all about the identity.
Oh, this is beautiful. Beautiful build-up. It's Sissoko's ball in, and Otto there to tidy up. Now wants to get on a bit of a run there. Kim Vuidi on the ball. Otto still going. Nicely done. And got defending. It looked like a foul. It looked like a clear obstruction.
Not budging at all.
Looked like a clear obstruction to me. Just cut in front of man running with the ball there. In fact, it looked like a bit of a shoulder charge. Now, see, we'll look at Plymouth again now with Matthew Sorinola on the right-hand side there.
I think we're starting to see players who are getting tired. There's too many loose balls that are just played into spaces. And it happens when you're not that sharp. It's still early stages. There's also the concentration levels drops. So you're going to have this sort of situation. I think overall, we know that two teams have an appetite to score goals. The question has always been to defend. And the fact that you have both that have conceded immediately after scoring a goal, that should be a cause of concern for the coaches, something to try and get them sharpen those kind of qualities. I think the jargon in the field, starting from the goalkeepers, they talk about switch on.
Yeah, but I think these are things that will be ironed out as pre-season continues, as Tillesi lets this one run for a goal kick. 5 minutes remaining. By the way, that hamstring report coming that is hamstring injury for Tito Maswanganyi is he's had ice on it, and he was sitting down for most of one after he came out, but he's back on his feet. I can't imagine we'll be seeing him in the next match against Sevilla. Hamstring is such a delicate injury that you don't want to aggravate it. If you can get, the only way to treat an hamstring injury is rest.
Relax.
Rest and ice. So I think he might well be, hopefully we'll see him again still on the tour, but yeah, not good. This is a player who did so well to stay fit last season. Hotto. Still Hotto. I think it's safe to say that was a miscue off his weaker boot. The weaker right foot. The Namibian international. That one, in fact, it was so wide of the mark, that shot from Hotto, that it's gone out for a throw in. Yeah, skewed off the side of the boot.
I've seen plenty of those.
There was a shot on goal that ended up being a throw in. It's good running here and a nice cutback, Mabasa.
Almost.
Oh,
quick 10. Sharp as he was towards the end of the season. Get that one on target.
Now, yes,
put it upright.
Possibility on the break here, but Pirates have one possession back. Kim Vuidi. Talent Dimbata, the lanky Talent Dimbata. This is nice stuff from Orlando Pirates. Again, Mabasa looking to pull the trigger quickly there. It's good work here from Pirates, keeping possession nicely, keeping it alive. Horto, Kimvede with a little chipped in there. Corner, they forced a corner, have they? No, it's still a... No, the signal actually is Plymouth ball. The referee's signal is Plymouth ball.
When you talk about the lanky talent Mbata, there was a lanky player at Orlando Pirates. His name? Mike Lollipop Mhlang. Played in the midfield, lanky as well, you know. So there's a reference for a lot of these players at Orlando Pirates in terms of the success story of the team and players that played in those positions.
Now, Plymouth looking to do some work down that left-hand side. Better. Just sharing the ball nicely here now. Play it back. Minute and a half on the clock. This is nice rotation of the ball. This is nice to see it. And then the releasing the ball there is just too long. Out for a throw in for Orlando Pirates. Yeah, there are some tight looking legs out there. Even though they've just played 45 minutes. Most of those on the field now. Whittaker couldn't find his way through. Pirates defended nicely. Can they hit? And is there a late goal here? The next one will surely win it. Almost got through. What great running from Horto. He's full of energy as always.
It didn't stop. He just continued to run. Played 1-2, continued to run. And there's no way, when you see a player giving you the ball and continue making it a run, there's no way you can not complement that run with a pass. Not the most crispy of passes, but I'm sure he would have been happy to have a good pass played on his path.
That's a beautiful touch to bring that ball down. Superb skill from Ryan Hardy. And the chance still alive here for them now. Sissoko. Oh, he leaves the ball behind.
I think he wanted to do a trick that did not.
Ball got stuck in his feet, then lost possession. They've got it back though. And they come again. Brandon Galloway, there's a young Zimbabwean, is on the field now. Well, not so young anymore. 28-year-old Zimbabwean Brandon Galloway, number 22.
Did I hear the referee talking about how many more minutes?
3 more minutes, it sounded like. We are into stoppage time. Not a bad first outing, though, I would say, for both these sides. What do you think the Jose Rivero will make of his team's first outing here?
Listen, there's identity about how they play Orlando Pirates, and you can tell from the type of goals that they've scored. But for any other coach, there will be concern, one, in terms of how they defended when they were leading. And the fact that they conceded immediately after, scoring, that should be a concern. And I guess on the flip side as well, Wayne Rooney would say the same thing with his players, to say, you conceded, but the positive is that you managed to bounce back. But for Pirates, I think it's also continued to build that block where they have to match their performance and be able to be consistent, but there's more demands now because of being part of the Champions League. So whoever gets given the opportunity, they've got to up their game, and this is a real test.
There'll still be plenty of opportunity in the build-up to the start of both these teams' seasons, so for them to work on things. This is just the start of the preseason workouts. We are now into the last minute of added time, so Buthelezi not in a hurry to deep into stoppage time. No rush to get it upfield. Looking to build out the back here. Ndlondlo switching it up to the hard running Hotto, looking to run around his man. There's a referee giving a free kick there.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I think they are aware now. In the last 10 minutes he's come on, they've already seen the amount of energy and speed that he's got on this left-hand side, Hotto.
Sorinola, it was there, Matthew Sorinola had cut him off. Is there time enough for someone to snatch a winner? No, there isn't, because there is a final whistle for 90. And a warm round of applause from the gathered crowd there. Most of them clad in green of Plymouth Argyle. Some holiday makers out from Plymouth, I imagine. But there we go. Then it ends all square, all good. And I think a fair workout for both these sides as they start pre-season in earnest. Starting to do all the pre-season stuff with the ball and against competition. A tougher test would lie ahead for Orlando Pirates as they face Sevilla in their next one. But here at the Banus Football Center, it's ended Orlando Pirates 2, Plymouth Argyle 2.
Johnson Workwear. Sizes that measure up.